I am Maeve. I'm so happy you're here. Let's practice some yoga. We're going to start in child's pose. Release your head down. Arms can be overhead or back by your heels. And just use this moment to arrive on your mat. For some people, child's pose is uncomfortable, either physically or even like you have a response to it where it just feels a little bit vulnerable, like you can't see what's going on, your back is to the door. You're at home, so hopefully you feel a little less vulnerable. But if it doesn't feel good and it puts you in a position of feeling uncomfortable, lie on your back, sit down, do something else so that you don't have that distracting you from your breath. Give yourself this first moment to just settle. This is so applicable, when we're running to class and we're rushing into the room and we're kind of connecting to where we are, but it's also applicable in your own home or wherever it is that you're practicing right now, because there are a lot of personal distractions. So just like in the busy outside world, when you come into class and you kind of have to commit to being there, you have to do sometimes even more so in your own personal space, because there's very accessible distractions, personal distractions. And then rising up, come to hands and knees. And you're just going to rock your weight forward and back. And as you rock your weight forward, we're stretching the wrists a bit, but just be very cognizant of that. Don't go past a point that feels safe. If you are working with any injuries or anything going on, I'm going to try to cue for prenatal, because I have a few students that watch these back recorded. And if you want to let me know, you can put it in the chat. If you're watching this back recorded and I'm too late to help you, then send me a message and let me know what's going on so that I can give you some better direction. We're going to take this, we're going to center our bodies, and we're going to move into cow with an inhale and cat with an exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. If you could imagine that you have a few hands down your spine. We'll go with hands. A few hands down your spine. And when you come into cat's pose, this rounded position, you're not just pushing the middle hand away, you're pushing all the hands away, so that you're fully rounding that back. So it's a nice big arc. Beautiful. Yes. Really nice. Yes. And keep breathing there. Yeah. This is a simple movement that allows you to connect your breath and your movement together.
Excuse me, do you know there is no music?
Can you not hear it at all?
No.
Okay,
Sorry.
fix it. Good. Keep going. Good. You're going to come through center after I said all that about music volume, and then there was just nothing, huh? It was this lovely, soft song. It's over now. Let's see if the next one shows up on your audible. Good. Come into a neutral spine, tuck your toes, and then come into downward facing dog, please. In downward facing dog, drop your ears between your biceps. Take your gaze back toward your feet. Front ribs gently to your back ribs. Your heels might not ever touch the floor. It's okay if they don't. It is okay if they don't. Keep breathing there. Maybe bend one knee. Good. Push into the opposite heel. That's gorgeous. Really nice. Mary, can you hear it now? Good. Come through neutral. All right. It should be on now. If you don't hear it, let me know. Roll forward to plank. Put your knees down on this first one. Pull the heart forward. Scoop the belly up. Just bend the elbows, drop down. Push back up. Downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank. Option to put the knees down again or keep the knees up. Halfway down, chaturanga. Come back up to plank, inhale. Downward facing dog. Right foot steps between your hands. Help your foot forward if you need to. Just get it there however you need to. Back knee down. And then rise up the center. Anjaneyasana. We're going to have the back toes tucked for today, at least for this first one. You're going to push into the front foot, push into the back toes, and then just pick up that knee. Feet pull toward each other. Beautiful. Slowly, keeping the pelvis pretty neutral. Maybe start to straighten the back leg some amount, maybe not all the way. Beautiful. Soften the gaze, steady the breath. One more inhale, bring your hands down. Start to straighten the front leg any amount. It may not straighten all the way, and that is quite all right. Soften the front knee. Turn the left heel, the back heel to the middle of your mat. Come up and around, warrior two. In warrior two, shoulders sit on top of your hips. Inner right thigh wrapping open. Generous bend in the right knee, and right knee moves out toward the pinky toe on the right foot. It's okay, gaze over the right middle finger, and then energize that left hand back. Draw both shoulders down your back. Inhale, straighten the right leg, pivot the right toes to the left, and then hands come down, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands come to the floor, lengthen the spine, and then melt the top of the head down, like so. If you can, elbows at shoulders distance, hands at shoulders distance. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, hands to your hips. Rise to stand. Heels and toes open. Sink down into goddess, please. A little deeper, inhale. And then exhale, bring your hands around. Step to plank. Take an inhale here. Put your knees down if you need to. Exhale to your belly slowly. Thumbs pull toward each other. Pinky spiral out. Inhale. Curl the heart up, cobra. Stay here. Soften down. Inhale, cobra. Pull the hands toward the back of the mat. Curl the heart up. And then exhale, release. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. The difference is cobra, the thighs are down, the hips are down. In up dog, the tops of the feet and the hands are the only 2 points of contact. Downward facing dog. Exhaling. Step your left foot forward. Help it forward if you need to. And then right knee down. Keep the right toes tucked. Anjaneyasana, rising up. Yes, yes, yes. And then just push down into the feet. So push the front foot down, push the toes down, the ball of the foot, and just rise up. Let both knees stay bent. Notice where your pelvis is in space. And so we're neutralizing it as much as we can. And then slowly you start to straighten the leg. So if your hip flexors are tight or your quadriceps are tight and you start to straighten that leg and it tips your pelvis forward like this, then I would suggest keeping a little bend in the knee so that you can keep fairly neutral here. It's okay for a little bit of a tip, but if it really pitches you forward, that's going to strain your back eventually. Last inhale, and then release your hands down. You're going to straighten the front leg, any amount, any amount. Turn the back heel down, bend the front leg. Rise up to warrior two. So in any of the standing poses where your spine is totally upright, not tipped over, we're looking to balance the hips, meaning that the waistline is balanced. We're neutral front to back, side to side. The bowl of the pelvis is neutral. So you're not spilling energy out, forward. Does that make sense? I always think of like this little sandwich here, back and front. Left knee tracks over the middle of that left foot. Send the fingers out long. Push into the back foot, resist inner right thigh to the back of your mat. So good. It's okay, gaze is on that left middle finger. And in all standing poses, there's a sense of drawing the feet toward each other, toward the midline of your body. Rather than pushing them away, you're drawing them in. That helps lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, straighten that leg, pivot the left toes around, and then forward fold for Prasarita Padottanasana. Drop the head. Inhale halfway, and then exhale, bring the head down. Second time here, if you love headstand and you want to put the top of the head down and straddle into tripod headstand, you are welcome to do so. If you're in a headstand, split the legs. And then everyone lengthen halfway up. Hands to your hips. Rise to stand, heels and toes open. Goddess, open up. So even here, there's a sense of pushing the feet down and kind of pulling them toward each other.
Faith lets you fall into a house without a word. And only the size of your breath are heard. I'm not one to go to church.
Last breath in. And then bring your hands around, please. Step to plank. Inhale. Your choice. Halfway down for chaturanga or the floor. And then curl up to cobra or upward facing dog. And downward facing dog with your exhale. From now on, that's always optional. You do not have to go through that. You can just go straight to downward facing dog if that works better in your body. I'll cue it a few times and then I'll try not to repeat it 1,000,003. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Look at your hands. Bring your feet to your hands. Come up halfway with your inhale. Keep all that space. Fold down. Rise up to stand with an inhale. Sweep the arms wide. Reach to the sky. And then pull your hands into your heart. Pause. Breathe here. In this moment of stillness, check in with your breath. Check in with your body. Check in with your general state of being. And know that that is always in flux. So whatever you're feeling right now in this very moment might change in any direction. And we observe. And we breathe. And we observe some more. You notice I didn't say we react, we just observe. Release the hands down. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hinge at the hips and bow forward. If your hamstrings are tight, put a bend in your knees. Inhale, halfway. Plant your hands on the ground. Keep the gaze a little bit forward, just a little bit forward. Step to plank. And then lower down chaturanga. Skip it if you don't want it. Rise up, dog or cobra. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, look forward, feet to your hands. Halfway up, inhale. And then bow down. Rise up to stand, inhale. And close the circle, hands into your heart. We go again. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale, halfway. Hands plant, chaturanga. Inhale, rise to open the heart. And downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, feet up to your hands. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, melt down. Root to rise. Inhale, sweeping up to sky. Hands into your heart. Exhale. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bowing forward. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Downward facing dog, exhale. For your Namaskara A, this is a salute to the sun. The sun is thought of as a reflection of ourselves. So this is a connection to yourself. It's a salutation to yourself, to your soul. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, bring your feet to your hands. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Exhale, fold down. Rise to stand, inhale. Draw your hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, rise. Connect, breath, sensation. Exhale, bow. Inhale, offer your heart. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, lift, rise. Maybe the gaze rises up. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Walk, step, or jump, feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lead from the heart. Don't roll it up, lead from the heart. Strong and proud, hands into your heart. Last time, inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Halfway, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg stretches back. If it feels good, turn the hips open, lift the right leg a little higher, and then bend the right knee. If it doesn't feel good, you skip it. Inhale, extend the legs, rise high to the left toes. Draw the right knee to your chest, place your right foot forward. Next to your right hand, help it there if you need to. And then rise up, crescent pose. So to rise up, lift the hips. Come on up. Yes. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Straighten the front leg. Use blocks if you've got them. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Push off the back foot. Right hand forward out to the right side of that right foot. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. I meant to get my block to show you. Oh, I'm going to show you the water bottle in case you don't have yoga blocks. I'm going to show you how this can be practiced with a water bottle. And it really gives you a lot more space. So you're driving this right foot down into the ground, this right hand down to get this rebounding energy that sends the left hand up, that extends the left leg back. Come around to chair, top of the mat. Bring the feet together, lift the spine. And then shift back into the right foot again. Left knee is going to rise up. Right hand comes to the left knee and then twist open to the left. We're going to do this a few times. So on this first one, just keep the knee. I promise you'll get to take the foot if you want it. And instead of focusing on finding that hamstring, really find the twist here. Find the twist across the chest. So take the hamstring out of the equation. Also find the standing leg straight. Bring the left hand down, around, rise up in the center. Push your left foot back through space, passing through warrior 3, coming back to crescent pose, where we started this sequence, right here. And then hands come down to the ground. Step back to plank. Chaturanga, optional. Rising open. And downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg slowly stretches back. If it feels good, lift the leg higher, opening the hip, and then bending the left leg.
So I give you an offering. If things don't work, you just skip them. Maybe you find an alternative. Maybe you just take a pause. Come back through center. Lift into the right toes. Pull your knee into your chest and then place your left foot next to your left hand. Rise up to crescent. Last breath in. Hands come down, straighten this front leg. Melt over the leg. Push off the back foot. Block or water bottle if you have it. You're going to lift up half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. So the more you give down, the more you get back. Looking to stack the right hand on top of the left hand. These right toes are pointing straight ahead. So not down, not up, straight ahead. Can you breathe here? Really nice. I'm going to come around the chair. Notice your transitions. Tend your transitions. And then get right foot light, left foot heavy. And you're going to come up, take the left hand to the right knee. So again, just the knee. I swear we're going to do it again a couple times. So you're going to have lots of opportunities to take that leg out straight. And instead, really focus here on straightening the standing leg, lifting the heart up, and getting a deep twist. Don't go. Stay with me. I've been saying this a lot lately in classes or with my clients. I have this image. It's like a Disney movie, like Inside Out or Soul, if you've watched either of those, where like our thoughts are like little versions of ourselves and they're running out of our head. Like a little Maeve just ran over there and wanted to vacuum or something and then comes back over and actually wants to be here. So we want to keep those little versions of ourselves in here and kind of quiet. So our thoughts take us out, they take us away. Stay here. Come back around. Push through warrior three. Arms overhead's a little harder, so bring your hands into your heart to kind of lessen that load. And then bend the front leg. Tend that transition, crescent pose. Rise up. Stay for a breath. And then release your hands down. Step back. And then move through Vinyasa or just go to down dog. So just to take a moment back on your thoughts. We aren't trying to control our thoughts. We're attempting this awareness to keep our thoughts from controlling us. So you don't have to control them. If little Nicole runs off to do something, it's okay. And then be like, you know what, come back over here. Let's focus on the inhale, the exhale. So we're not trying to control all those little thoughts. It's an attempt to lessen their control on us. Right leg stretches back. Bend the knee, open the hip. Stay here, flip over if you like. Wild thing. Pushing into the feet, opening the heart, using this left hand like crazy. And then right foot comes to the top of the mat. Crescent pose, rising up. Hands come back down to the ground with your exhale. Inhale, pull the heart forward, bend the front leg, and then taking off half moon. We're going to stay for a moment longer. Use a block or a water bottle or whatever you got under your hand if you need it. Option to bend the left leg, to find the foot. And then keeping the leg parallel to the ground, at least to start to push the foot away. And then open the heart.
Open the front of the left hip. Engage that left glute gently. Chopasana. Good. If you have the foot, you release it gently. It's like you're coming into chair, and if you need to, you'll put your left foot down. But if you don't need to put your left foot down, you'll hover, you'll pass through, and then you lift the left leg up. Right hand to left knee or to your foot and twist. And then come back around to center. Push the left leg back. Pass through warrior three. And then into crescent. Rise up. Exhale, let it go. Hands come down to the ground. Step back. Flow through or just go to downward facing dog. Left leg stretches back. If it feels good, open the hip. If it feels good, come onto the pinky side of the right foot. Bring the left foot around and arrive in Wild Thing. Come around, left foot top of your mat. Rise to crescent, inhale. Exhale, hands come back down. Straighten the front leg. And then bend the front leg, push off the back toes, half moon. Option to bend the right leg. Pull the heel toward the sitting bone. And then when you find your foot, then you push away, foot away from your hip. Yeah. Beautiful. And then we come around. We release the foot if you have it. Pass through chair or float this right leg through as if you're going to come to chair. And then everyone, right knee up. Take the knee or take the foot and twist open. Beautiful. And then release it back around to center. Warrior three is your transition into crescent pose. Breathe in to rise up. And then hands down. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. And we'll meet in down dog. Take a pause. Observe. We're going to do all of that again, just a wee bit faster. You can leave things out. You can add in. This is your practice. Play with it. Inhale, right leg back. Open the hips, flip over if you want. Otherwise, stay neutral. Right foot top of the mat. Crescent pose, inhale. Hands down, exhale. Straighten the front leg. And then rebend. Half moon with or without Chopasana. And then bringing that left leg around. Passing through like you want to come to chair. Maybe you keep the foot. Come around, open up. Right hand to left knee or left foot. Come back around. Pass through warrior three. To arrive in crescent, big breath in. And then hands come down to the ground. Step back to plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise, inhale. And down dog, exhale. Left leg stretches back. Open the hips. If it feels good, flip over. Left foot top of your mat. Crescent, inhale. Hands down to the ground, straighten the front leg. Bend the front knee, take off. Half moon with sugar cane if you'd like. That's what Chopasana means. And then come around.
So bring your foot to chair or pass through chair. Maybe keep the foot. Switch hands. And open her up. So good. Then we're going to have another shot at this. Come back around. Warrior 3. I know you were worried about that. Yes, you are, I'm sure. And then crescent pose. Rise up. And chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, open. And downward facing dog. Little pause.
I've been staring at a road. I've been staring at a road.
Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, bring your feet to your hands. Halfway. Inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Chair, sink down, lift up. Draw your hands into your heart. Take your left arm outside your right thigh, and we're going to twist to the right. Lots and lots of options here. This is perfect. Option to bring your left hand down, your right hand up. Option to take an arm balance if you want. You bring your hands around, lift your heels up, squeeze the legs together, think chaturanga, and then lift up. Yeah? Make it what you need. Come back to chair. Press up to stand. Pick up your right foot. Curl your heel toward your sitting bone. Right away on my body, when I pick up my foot, my belly wants to pop out. I want to arch my back. Draw the belly back. Lengthen out the low back. Take this right hand to your right foot. Good. This is perfect. This doesn't have to change. Press your foot into your hand. So just like we did Chopasana and Ardha Chandrasana, you just got this sense of pushing, opening up the heart, containing the belly a bit, lengthening the low back, engaging this right glute. If you'd like, start to push the foot back more and more. And as you do that, you start to hinge. And you come into Nadarajasana, dancer's pose, which is very much like Warrior 3 with Chopasana. And then back into chair. Hands into your heart. Right arm outside your left thigh, twist to the left, and open there. Yes. Yes, beautiful. If you want to open the arms, if you want to take an arm balance, whatever you need, go for it now. Gorgeous. Yes. Yes, yes. Beautiful.
Do you find me near when you're dreaming?
Good, Heidi. Beautiful. 2 more breaths.
Do I whisper, dear, I love you?
Come back to chair.
I want you so.
Rise up, pick up your left foot. Draw your heel toward your hip.
So tell me,
And then just notice
my darling,
that equation. Right away, I feel it. I want to go right into a back bend. Contain the belly. Reach back for the foot if it's there. Contain the belly. So first we get an opening across the front of that left hip. We lengthen the low back. Start to engage the left glute gently. Stay here or push the foot into your hand. And you start to open up. And you start to open up. And then the natural progression is that you start to come forward. You don't have to force this tip over. Let it happen naturally. Maybe you stay more upright, especially if you're really bendy. Maybe you stay more upright and you work that leg up behind you.
When you're dreaming, do you find me near? When you're dreaming,
I'm going to come back to chair
I gotta know.
and forward fold with your exhale. Halfway inhale, hands plant, chaturanga, or just down dog.
I gotta know.
From downward facing dog, right leg back, inhale. Open up the hips, flip over if you'd like. One breath in. And then exhale, right foot top of your mat. Crescent, inhale. And then hands down, exhale. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, bend the knee, taking off. Opening up, half moon. Maybe with the foot. All right, here comes that transition if you want a shot at it. Come to chair, or if you have the foot, come around. And then see if you can just switch hands on the foot or to the knee. And then open up. Don't overthink it. Come back around. Warrior 3 as your transition. And then listen. Come to crescent. Hands into your heart. Left arm outside your right thigh. And twist. Don't overthink this twist. This is the same as when you were in chair. You just happen to have one leg back. You also have the same options. You can stay here. You can open the arms. You can bring it around to an arm balance if you want. If you want to take the arm balance, you bring the arms around. And you're here. You don't ever have to take an arm balance. Got it? Good. Last inhale. Release your hands down. Back knee down. Option to bend the back leg. Find the foot. And then open up.
If I listen long enough to you, I'd find a way to believe.
One more inhale. Release your hand around. Plant both hands. You're going to take this right leg straight back behind you. Both hands are down. Left knee, left foot are down. Bend the right leg. Maybe just stay there. Maybe reach back with your left hand. Find your foot. And then kick open. Open back up. Release hand, knee. And then lower to your belly. Curl the heart, cobra. 5 breaths. Legs are long. Stretch your toes to the back of your mat. Push the tops of your feet down. Elbows hug in gently toward each other. And then soften down. Tuck your toes. Use your knees if you need to. Press up to plank. And downward facing dog. Left leg back, inhale. Open the hip. Flip if you'd like. And then step the left foot top of the mat. Crescent to rise. Woo. And then release the hands down and straighten the front leg. Rebend, lift off, half moon, any option. You have the foot and you want to keep it, go for it. If you want, come through chair. And then the right leg will lift. And you'll find your foot or your knee. Left hand to the your foot and we twist. Beautiful. Come back around. Go through warrior 3 to come to crescent. And then hands into your heart. Right arm outside your left thigh. And we twist. Same options as the first side. You can stay right there, twisting. You can open it, you can wrap it. I didn't say that, but you could have. And you can take it to an arm balance if you want. Don't let your ego direct you. Listen to what your body needs. And when I say that, don't let me hold you back either. So if you were like, I want to do an arm balance, and you're like, ooh, is she going to think it's my ego? No. Follow your path. Follow your path. Last 2 breaths here. And then release it around. Back knee down. Stay here or bend the back leg, find your foot, and then open here. Open both of your shoulders, not just the left shoulder. Open the right shoulder.
Hunting by the rivers, through the streets, every corner, abandoned too soon, set down with true care.
If you have the foot, release it gently. Try to control it around. You're going to take this left leg back, straight back in the air. Find your center before you do the next part. Bend the top leg, the left leg. Maybe reach back with your right hand and then kick open. We've done a lot of back bends, y'all. Release. Both knees down, lower to your belly. Cobra, Shalabhasana, or Dhanurasana. Bending both of the legs, finding your feet, kicking your feet away, and opening up. One more big breath in, releasing down. This time, child's pose. Pressing back to where we started. Inhale, rising up, and then just come to seated. Good work. All right. Leg out, 1 foot in. Good. You're going to lean out toward the bent leg. Lean out toward the bent leg. And then push up, get as long as you can to come over toward that straight leg. Lots of options with this arm. It can come up and over. It can stay at your knee. It can come behind your back, behind your head. Play. Find what you need today. Hi, mister. Inhale, rising up. And let's switch the legs. So this little guy right here is so sweet, right? You see him, you know, right? Take it off toward the bent leg. Big, big stretch. And then come up and around over to the other side. But he's been sick, which doesn't make him less sweet, by the way. He's been sick. And twice I've had to go to the emergency room with him. Which for an animal lover is like the worst. I know you all know what I'm talking about if you're an animal lover. And especially now in COVID times, because everybody's sitting outside the hospital waiting for
their animals to be returned to them or to get news. But you see all the drop-offs, right? And you're like, oh my God. So the first week I was there, I had this like amazing, like, oh my God, this is what it's like with people with COVID. You're like dropping off your loved ones and you just don't even know, right? You can't go in with them. You don't know. Not that he was in for COVID. That's not even the point of my story. I'm off on a tangent right now. My point of the story is he's so sweet. Look at this little guy. He just loves me. I'm his person. He chose me. I'm his person. And I'm supposed to give him medicine. And I can't because he's like Jekyll and Hyde. You see how sweet this little guy is right now? It's like wrestling an alligator, trying to, give him medicine, which is what landed us there the second week because I was unable to give him his medicine over the course of the week. Come back up. It takes at least 2 people to give this guy medicine, both legs out. He's like a cross between an eel and an alligator. It's crazy talk. Come forward. But he's feeling better, so I just have to keep getting it in his mouth, the medicine that is. Hi, bud. His behavior was what tipped me off. So if you haven't heard this already, you're going to hear it. If you didn't already hear it, you're going to hear it again. But it started 2 weeks ago with him peeing on something right in front of me. And then went to the hospital, started to get better. And then on Sunday, it was like worse than the first time. And it was this frantic, like peeing, peeing, peeing. Just like a little squirt, 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 like right in front of us, like all 3 of us, so that we all saw it. And we were just like, oh my God. And it made me think of how smart they are. Good, come up. Soles of the feet together. To like put himself right in front of me to say, I don't feel good. And I'm going to show you that I don't feel good by doing the most undesirable behavior, right? Bud. And as humans, we think we're so much smarter, and we're not. Animals are, I think, far wiser for the most part. Not the dodo, clearly. But they're gone for a reason. Because we just shove it down, right? We just shove it down and we hide it because we think it's a weakness, which animals do too. They are survival of the fittest. They often hide how they feel until it's to the point where they have to pee on things in front of you. But how does that relate to yourself? Like, what are the things that, because I started thinking about myself, like I don't tell anyone if I don't feel good. Like, I mean, if migraine or something, but how do we communicate, even with just ourselves, our needs? How do we take care of ourselves? He can't take himself to the vet. He needs me to do that. And sometimes you got to ask for help. And then who's your network? Who is your support? Who are the people you turn to? I'm his person. You're going to come onto your backs. If you need a twist before Shavasana, you're going to take it. If you don't need it, you are already set up. You'll lie down. You'll release your legs. You'll allow your eyes to soften. And then you'll release your arms, your jaw, your tongue inside of your mouth and throat. Allow your breath to deepen. Notice how your body feels. Notice your breath. Notice the state of your mind. And then bending your knees. You can roll to your side. You can rock up to seated. Whatever's better for you. I guess that's my path. When you're seated, bring your hands back into prayer at your heart. Honor that you showed up today. I say that a lot because I mean it. Honor that you have the privilege of showing up, that you have the time. And sometimes we feel like we don't, and then you make the time, and even more valuable then. Because there's a lot of people that didn't show up. Not just to my class, I'm just talking in general. But you did, you showed up. How did you take care of yourself? How does this practice teach us to take care of ourselves and thereby make us better to take care of the world? On a small scale, in our home, in our family, in our village, until it just radiates outward to the universe. Draw a long breath in. Exhale, yoke your body and your mind, bow your head to your heart. Rise with your next inhale. Thank you so much for being here. If you need anything, if you have questions, if you have requests, let me know. Happy Wednesday. I wasn't quite sure, but I'm correct. Happy Wednesday.